Yo, what up, people? It's your boy, The Laugh King, coming at you with a quick video. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on NBA 2K22. Some people have been asking me about my expectations for NBA 2K22, and right now I really don't have any expectations. I pretty much know what the game is going to offer at this point. The only thing you got to really see is how they, put together some of the features. So the gameplay, I doubt, is going to be much different from last year. Although they said that they've improved a couple of things, which I'm going to get into. But overall, we kind of know what these sports games are going to play like. Unless there's a major overhaul in gameplay, we should already know what to expect. So going through some of these websites, basically they said on-court gameplay was improved. I'm going to read it here. It says key on-court gameplay improvements are being implemented to give the player not only more control over how they score the ball, but how they counter those moves on the defensive end. That's only the beginning. More impactful gameplay changes will be introduced along with the first NBA 2K22 gameplay reveal coming out later in August. On offense, breaking down defenders off the dribble with new signature moves and combos, precision jump shooting, dunking in traffic, and pulling off alley-oops that have all become more skill-based. Basketball IQ and stick skills play an even bigger role in separating the top offensive players. So I think they're still talking about the 1v1 game on the actual website. Defense, completely revamped shot contest and blocking system highlight an arsenal of new defensive tools at your disposal. Playing suffocating defense on the perimeter and in the paint has never felt more rewarding, giving elite defenders the ability to truly change the outcome of the game. So they're kind of vague on the website about the changes to NBA 2K22 on offense and defense. If you know me, I'm strictly a gameplay guy. I like presentation and gameplay, so that's pretty much what I focus on. But there's an article on steveiver.com, and he kind of gets into a little bit more detail. So he says, first, on-court gameplay has been tweaked to give players more control both offensively and defensively. He said, Mike Wang basically said, we want defense to be engaging and fun. That extends to everything on the defensive end of the floor, from steals to movement, to our body collisions, to our blocking. Everything was re-architectured and feels much better on the defensive end of the floor, Wang continued. It also caused us to rethink a lot of things on the offensive side of the ball, how to make things more engaging there as well. So you can see a new emphasis on stick skills and IQ being in the right place. If I can say one thing about gameplay, this Mike Wang says and his team have done, making more actions of the game skill-based, puts the controller in your hands, and even more. There's less randomness, there's less dice roll in NBA 2K22. It really comes down to you as a player, your style, your skill, competing against other players, so the game feels much more satisfying this year. So I'm going to go off on a limb and say that they mapped everything to the D-pad. Anything that's off-ball movement, direction of traffic, I'm assuming that they're going to put all that on the D-pad, because the way they put all the controls and all the play calling on the buttons, it's not intuitive enough. Like if you want to switch through certain plays and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to do that with the buttons. Like you press all these buttons, and then you gotta scroll through the menus and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons why you can't really call a lot of plays in 2K and do it real fast. Because sometimes, like say you're playing in a playoff mode, an intense playoff mode, and you want to pretty much change something real quick on the fly. By the time you get to that menu, the opposition has already scored. So you're either going to have to call a timeout, or you're going to have to understand how to move quickly through the menus. And to me, the play calling in 2K has always been a chore. And that's one thing that NBA Live has always been better at with their play calling system. I said it before, NBA Live 15 pretty much had the best play calling system of any sports basketball game, in my opinion, because everything was tied to the D-pad, and you could pretty much get anywhere fast. You can literally go through menus in like 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds, and call a play. Hopefully that's what 2K did, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on the floor in 2K, and with them saying now it's less dice roll, that's yet to be seen. But there's been instances in past 2K games where, you would put, guard your man off the ball, and for some reason the AI defender would just collapse into the paint, leaving, the corner three wide open, and it happens so many times. So hopefully stuff like that you can control outside of the pause menu, because if they can find a way to fix player movement, off-ball movement, have less warping in the game while adding all these new features in the game, like 2K22 could be a great game, right? Like, I've played a lot of the next-gen version of the game, and I see the potential there. And when they say everything was re-architectured and feels much better on the defensive end. So I'm not sure if they're talking about the actual foot planting and stuff like that, but I'm assuming that's what it is, because if you play a lot of next gen, like, the warping was ridiculous, and the players take up a lot of space with their movement. And it should be like in 1v1 situations, players shouldn't be able to gain that much space from the defender. So these little things that I look for in gameplay, it's something that I've been, like, when I try to mess with movement sliders and stuff like that, like, I try to minimize a lot of that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what the developers do with everything under the hood. So I'm waiting for August to see how they showcase the gameplay. If there's a lot of slow motion in the trailer, like what they've been doing for the last 2 years, I'm going to be worried about gameplay. So if they can show it at regular speed and showcase, players moving and, getting the ball and shooting and everything, the timing of everything seems a lot better than what it is now, then, 2K22 could possibly be a great game. So it's the only basketball game that we have. So we all have to make sure that these guys are putting out the best possible quality product out there for us to enjoy. So, but I'm waiting until August. My expectations for 2K22 is low, but I'm always going to be cautiously optimistic about gameplay, because I see the potential there. So it's all about giving the user more control and reducing all the warping and stuff like that. They have to go back and they have to re-edit all the sliders in the game, because I think a lot of the sliders in the game are affecting the actual gameplay. Some of those old sliders, they probably don't even need them, but I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. We'll see where it goes. We'll wait till August. As of right now, my hype for sports games is kind of low. Still waiting on FIFA to show gameplay, some actual, like, real gameplay, stuff like that, to see the improvements with high promotion. But in terms of, basketball games, I'm definitely going to be getting 2K22 regardless, because I make content, so it's something that I need. And yeah, we'll just go from there and see how the game looks in August and September, when they decide to release actual gameplay a week before the game. Anyways, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Alright, peace.